Hey, and just a quick reminder that the audio-only versions of these Vital MX interviews are available on the Vital MX podcast page. Search for it anywhere you get your pods and let your friends know about it. What's up, guys? It's Darkside with Vital MX. Today I got the one and only Danger Boy, Haiden Deegan, on the line. What's going on, Haiden?
Nothing much. Just got done at Minios and, decided to hop on with you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Dude, you absolutely crushed it at Minios. Pretty much won every class except for, I think, 250A Supercross. You got a fifth overall.
250 on Supercross. We had a bad start, and that track's very hard to pass on with the short amount of laps you have.
How was, obviously you won everything, but like at your level, listen, you're one of the, if not the elite amateur rider in the country right now. What do you learn when you go to a race and just absolute dominate like that? Are you really taking anything away from that?
Oh, no, it's good. Just to, I feel like after racing the two nationals, the first one didn't go the way we wanted it to. And then the second one, I was actually happy with the way it went. First moto was riding really good and lost my rear brake, so I couldn't do much about that.
Yep.
But then the second moto at, Fox last round, I finished 10th and came from 15th or 16th and didn't fade at all really. And I was happy with that. But going back to Minios, the team wants me to do that just because we have no pro racing to do right now, or Futures hasn't started. So, we're going to keep you racing. We're going to let you do Minios. And I was like, that's fine. We're racing pro classes. I just got out of the B class after Loretta's, so it hasn't been that long. And I went there and did very well. Been putting in a lot of work and training, and I like to win a lot, so I focus on it. And it definitely, though, when you go to Minios and you dominate like that, or you win, it just kind of gives you a reminder how much you like it and how much more you need to work for it to go do it in the pros. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, because obviously the two nationals were a little bit of a struggle, maybe even eye-opening. Yeah. So to go back and get some wins, that always feels good. But what are you testing while you're racing? Are you trying different things to use for 23?
Yeah, Minios is a really kind of difficult track to get bikes set up on. The outdoor track, it becomes very choppy and rough, and it's like no other track I've really ever ridden. So we found a pretty good setup during the week, but we really can't find anything bike wise that would help with outdoors or 2023 at all. But more just since they're 20-minute motos, learning to sprint the whole time, just because that's only pretty much halfway at a pro national.
That's true, right? And then you could go out and do practice all week and do sprints, but race conditions and the track conditions are much different at a race like that.
Yeah, definitely. And that Minios has been the gnarliest track I've ever ridden. It is. I can't say no other track has been rougher than that one at the end of the day.
Okay. You were talking about, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, with the racing between outdoors or Supercross, it just helps with also doing starts when your race mentality, getting your starts dialed as well.
Yeah. And how is it, you talked about kind of, not really doing a whole lot of setup stuff, not finding things, but how does it work with my boy Duff? He's a good dude. I like that guy.
Yeah, Duff's really good. After Christian parted ways with the team, Duff said he wanted to stay with the team, so we're like, we can't miss this opportunity. Duff's been with the champion, and he's been with a rider, Justin Brayton, for a long time, which is also very good. So we're like, he is a top-tier mechanic, and I'm going to need a top-tier mechanic if I want to go win championships. So we decided to put Duff on, and so far it's been going awesome.
I like it. How important do you feel like that relationship with a mechanic is? I mean, he kind of has to know when to pick you up, when to be quiet, what you're looking for. I think it's a pretty important relationship, but I've never been in your shoes.
Yeah, definitely. Having a mechanic is honestly 50% of your mentality before you start the race. If your mechanic is getting you fired up, or you're going to win this, or getting in your head, letting you're going to go dominate this, it's a lot better than if your mechanic just packs the gate and steps back. There's a whole difference, and your mechanic can really change the way you ride also out there, just the way you're aggressive or not. It's him really gets you fired up on the start, kind of.
I like it.
Yeah.
Going back to the couple races this outdoors, what are a couple things that you picked up on that you needed to implement for the rest of your amateur career and going into your pro career? Were there a couple little lessons that you learned?
Yeah, I learned a lot of lessons doing those 2 pro nationals. That was my only goal with those 2 pro nationals, was just to see how it was, see the pace, see how intense it is, so we'd be ready for the next year of outdoors. And you still learn a little bit with amateur racing, just the way you got to sprint and stuff. But the pro national is what taught me the most out of anything really in my career, racing those 2 nationals. And after the nationals, I really just took time and studied how my starts were, studied how like Jet Lawrence, Justin Cooper, and those guys start. Because Joe Shimoda can come through the pack well, but being up front on the start is like a big role in the whole race. If you start up front, you have way better chances of finishing up front.
Yeah, I feel like maybe 10 years ago, there was guys that could come from the back, but as the talent level grows and it gets more spread out in the last few years, it is very difficult if you don't get good starts. And we've seen that with some guys like Hunter Lawrence has had some start issues. Dylan Ferrandis, right? He's had in Supercross bad starts and you just can't come through the pack.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like back when Ricky was racing, people were definitely, doing training and stuff, but I feel like if you did a little more than the other guy, it would really stand out. Like now though, it's like everyone is like at their peak training and trying the hardest they can or doing the most they can off the bike and on the bike, where you just have to find little things that you can, beat people with. Yeah,
definitely. You just mentioned training and how people train now. And you also a minute ago mentioned you went going back and winning some races at amateurs reminds you why you love this. Do you like the training side, the grind? There's guys like Jeremy Martin, Alex Martin that love that side. I can't imagine like looking forward to training off the bike.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, training, it cannot be fun. It can be fun. But just like I was talking to Jet Lawrence at Minios, and he said, basically, if you're doing training and you're riding and you're having fun, it's going to be 10 times better and it goes quicker. So
there you go.
That's kind of, it's a lot funner too. Cause if you start not having fun when you're doing it, that's when I feel like your career may start going downhill. So when I'm riding and I'm off the bike training, I'm still doing everything I can, but I definitely try to make it fun as well.
Absolutely. Okay, going back to amateurs right now, do you have a plan locked in for 23? I've heard Supercross Futures. I don't know if you can even confirm or not. Do you know what your plan is for 23?
Not really at the moment. We're in the middle of the plan because for Minios, that's another thing. We went there to get my Supercross points.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, people would be like, why are you racing Minios? You're sandbagging. I'm like, well, I kind of have to,
right,
to get my points. I mean, if you guys want me to go pro, I got to get my points. So, so we went and got our points there. So right now it's just going to be basically, we're going to train up until Supercross starts, 100% guaranteed to do futures. But if I'm feeling really good and my speed's there, then definitely they'll start talking about other things. But I got to get there first. We start Supercross training in a couple of days because we just got done at Minios.
Right.
So, we'll just see where it takes us. But my goal, if I do end up racing Supercross, it's just like, it's your first year. You just want to be a learning year. And I feel like since I have my like followers and stuff, people expect you to do stuff that may not be capable sometimes. So I kind of feel like you might have to block that out a little bit and just learn and then attack the next year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to get to the fans here in just a second, but if I'm understanding right, you're going to do futures, but there's a possibility that you could do some actual pro Supercross?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, hopefully, if we're going fast enough, but futures right now.
Okay. If you were the one making the decision and, I know it's collective, it's the team and your family, but if you were making the decision, would you want to go straight into Supercross, or are you pretty cool with futures to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, futures is like good, but I feel like the only way that I feel like the way for me to go get wins quicker in Supercross or to win championships quicker is to just get in it and start learning.
Yeah.
But again, getting in it quick, you have to be smart as well because you can get injuries. So if I do get in quick, it's just being smart and learning and not having the fans or people that haters getting in your head, like telling you got to go quicker or something, or you got to do better. You just got to focus on yourself and learn. Yeah,
the haters, right? And I've talked to you, I think at Paulo, we talked a little bit about the fans, and you already are a guy that seems like either the fans love you or they hate you. And as a kid, one, that can't be fun to deal with. Even as an adult, it's not fun to deal with hate. and blocking that out is probably not easy, but there's some unrealistic expectations. How do you deal with that? Do you just, like you say, block it out, or do you let it bother you a little bit?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, some of the people's like hate comments or videos they make about me, it does motivate me to do a lot better. But again, I'm like only a 16-year-old kid, and I literally train my heart off, and I work as hard as I can so I can try and get to a position where I can win championships. So as of now, I just try and block that stuff out and just keep working as hard as I can till I can get to a point where I can really shut the people up.
There you go. Yeah. And I actually had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, I've talked to Haiden 2 or 3 times over the years at these races, and like you have no ego. At least when I talk to you, you're very polite. You don't seem to have any ego. You're not a punk ass kid the way you talk.
Yeah.
So I think people just have a misconception, and maybe some people, like the way your dad has handled your career has been very smart, like very business oriented. He knows what he's doing, but some people feel like, oh, there's too much hype or whatever. And I don't think that's fair to take that out on you. Cause look, dude, you're just going to ride your dirt bike, and your dad is doing what he feels is best for a business plan. And it seems to be working. So yeah, you just got to keep your head down and keep doing what you're doing. And in time, I think you will prove, what you need to prove just through results.
Yeah, definitely. People always have their opinions too, which is all right.
Yeah.
Because everyone pretty much on social media has never hung out with me in real life.
Right.
So, it's all right for them to have their opinions, and I just got to keep focusing on myself.
Do you feel like as a person, or your personality wise, are you kind of laid back, or are you more of a fired up kid all the time? Just, would you like to kind of just keep quiet, or do you like a little bit of the hype?
I am like, I feel like I have like a switch. Sometimes I'm like both ways, but like I like to be like fired up and have a lot of energy and do a lot of stuff. And then sometimes like the only time I'm really ever like just chilled out and calm or quiet is like after a long day of training maybe, but like a day's off and stuff, I'm always wanting to do stuff, and I'm always have a ton of energy.
That's cool, man. That's your youth. Youth is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. I want to talk, since we were talking about the hate a little bit, the championship celebration at Minneo's, saw a little social media negativity on that. Just take us through it, man. I mean, it seems like it's fun, right? It was a busy weekend. You won multiple championships. I get it. But what do you think about the championship celebration at an amateur race?
Yeah, definitely. My whole perspective on it is, we go there to have fun. And after that race is where the motor builder was fine with it, because that was the end of the engine. So he said we can do it, and we just wanted to have fun. It's like what I do pretty much, and that's why I do it. So I won those races, and after I was like, shoot, why not? Let's just do a massive burnout of the semi. So we did it. We did it for about a minute or so.
Yeah.
But that stuff is really just exciting. And the whole time I was doing that, I was just thinking about doing this if I were to win a Supercross or motocross championship. So it kind of gave me a little feel of that. Now I want it even more.
Oh, I love that. I love that. All right, last question. Growing up, almost full-time moto, always in the spotlight, lots of expectations out of you because of the name, because of the hype. Do you ever feel like, man, I wish there wasn't so much spotlight. I wish maybe I want to do something else and just be left alone. Do you ever kind of think, maybe I should have went a different route?
There's been times, I'd say, when I was a little younger that I kind of would think that, but now that I'm at a point where I mentally know to myself, like, I want to push myself to be really good. I think all the followers and stuff is just kind of like just another step to help me in my career, help with fans, even help the sport if I do it all right.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'm sure you've heard this. Your dad's probably said it. Like, if you're not getting hate, you're not doing something right. Right. I mean, people send the hate because of
definitely.
that people send the hate because of sometimes jealousy, insecurity, or whatever. And it means you're doing something right. Yeah,
because if people are able to put their opinion, they have to be watching what you're doing. So
good point.
It's kind of their fault for watching.
Good point, man. Well, look, I'm not going to keep you. Dad said about 15 minutes. We're right at the 15-minute mark. I know you're a busy kid. Appreciate you having a little bit of time for us. Every time I've ever asked, we've gotten a little bit of time with you, so it means a lot. And look forward to seeing you here in a few months at Supercross, one way or the other.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Haiden. Have a good day and be safe.
All right, you too. Bye.
Right, see ya.